It's going on and on. Finally started. Okay, my friends. So we have seen all the varieties which are possible in the future values. If I give you the brief overview, first of all, we had seen the future value of the single cash flow. So if we are investing only for the one point of time, then what will be the amount after some number of periods? Then it was the future value of annuity, in which we have seen the deferred annuity, uh, you know, ordinary annuity, and the annuity due. You people have also written the formulas related to that, right? And we have solved the questions. Then future value of annuity was also covered. Few questions were covered. That means there was a deferment period coming, and the deferment period was basically ignored whenever there was the question of future value. Obviously, you get the interest and return only for the period for which you are investing. So if you are not investing for some period, that period should be straight away ignored in the calculation, right? So that's what we have done in the future value of deferred annuity too. Then we had moved to the future value of the uneven cash flows. So cannot be called an annuity, but in a different period, we are getting the different amounts. And how we find the future values of the different cash flows can also be called as the uneven cash flows. So that also we have seen. Basically, we prepare the table. In that, the table looks like this: the serial number, cash flow, the compounding factor, and after that we get the future value. So future value would be basically the compounding factor multiplied by the cash flow, and that would be the last column. So you do the total of this, every answers you have got in that column, that would be considered as your final answer. Now, my friends, we would be moving to the present value of the single cash flow. Just give me 30 seconds. I need to plug in my charger. Well, you may take a snap of it again. This is anyway to be circulated from my side, but just for your better clarity and understanding, you may take a snap of it so that you won't have to look at the screen again and again to check the question. Okay, let's move ahead. Question number 1. Now, before I move to the practicals of it, let me just reiterate that I have been saying this since last many number of lectures, that time value of the money can be interpreted and implemented from two perspectives. One is the loan, another one is the investment. So when it comes to the present value, majority of the people are aware that it is more about loans and everything, because in the graduation as well, or I have seen that in some of the other classes as well, when the PV comes, no, people are like, it's about a loan. No, it can be implemented, it can be uh, used for the investment perspective too. Let's see how. Say this is the timeline, and the future value is given to you, right? When it is come to when it is related to the present value, the future value is given to you. So it can be presented, it can be implemented, it can be analyzed in two aspects. Say if you are supposed to pay the amount of loan of 1 lakh rupees after 5 years, this is the repayment you will be making after 5 years for some amount of loan you have taken. Then what is the amount of loan you have taken right now, so that you will have to pay 1 lakh? So it is from the perspective of the loan, right? Let's take the perspective of the investment. Say you are about to get 1 lakh rupees, or you require 1 lakh rupees after 5 years. Then what amount you should invest now? In both of these questions, the same formula is going to be applied, but one is from the perspective of the loan, another one is the perspective of the investment. So do not get confused with this terminology of investment or loan. Just check that whether it is annuity, single cash flow, or the differential cash flow, and apply the formula straight away, whatever the formula is applicable. Let's move to the first question. Everyone, what amount Miss Deepika? Now it wouldn't be fair to use Miss, she's already Mrs. Anyway, but for the sake of my own pleasure, I'm using Miss. I'm still under that impression that she is Miss. What amount Miss Deepu should invest if she wants 50 crores to produce one movie after 10 years at an interest rate of 14% compounded monthly? Now she wants 50 crores of rupees after 10 years. She wants 14% of the interest rate, or I may say it's the expected rate of return. And the interest which she is getting will be reinvested again on a monthly basis. So that means the compounding is taking place on a monthly basis. So we had seen one formula for the single cash flow for the future value equal to PV multiplied by 1 plus R raised to N. Now the same formula, if you can modify a bit, so FV is already here, and if this 1 plus R raised to N is a multiplication, it will come into the division here, 1 plus R raised to N equal to PV. So that's going to be the formula of the PV. Now just modifying the formula of the FV. So equal to, I can also write it like PV equal to FV just a second. The Brahmastra has stopped working. Good, it has started working now. So PV equal to FV multiplied by, now when it comes to Deepu, the red pen is working well, multiplied by 1 divided by 1 plus R raised to N. So friend, this 1 divided by 1 plus R raised to N can also be called as the discounting factor. Discounting factor. And you get some discounting factor and you multiply the discounting factor by FV, you get the PV. So FV divided by 1 plus R raised to N can also be written like this. I am writing this because this is how we are going to solve few questions in upcoming sessions to come. That's why. Okay, let's move ahead without wasting much of time. Just put everything we have got over there. Therefore, FV is the amount that Deepu is requiring, 50 crores. There are 8 zeros in the 50 crores, divided by 1 plus R raised to N. R is 14% on a yearly basis to be divided by 12. May I have divided by 12 answer? 14% divided by 12. What do you get? 0.14 divided by 12, being more specific. 0.0116. Good, Mr. Yash. Good, Miss Urja. Thank you. 0.0116 raised to N. N would be number of periods. Now there are 10 years and compounding is happening on a monthly basis. So 10 must be multiplied by 12. So number of periods are going to be 120. So that's going to be my present value. So therefore 50 lakhs. Now you have got the shortcut to find this 120 times, right? So you may just do it 20 times, and the amount which you are getting for the 20 times, you'll be multiplying that amount for further 6 times, right? So I can write it like 50 crores divided by 1.0116 raised to 120. Let's assume this as some value. So therefore 1.0116 raised to 20, and similarly we would be taking it for 6 times, because you know that when the base is multiplied the power is added, right? So multiplied by 1.0116 raised to 20 again, multiplied by 1.0116 raised to 20, and in total we should have 120. So 6 times basically. So just find it for 20 times. You may use the scientific calculator as well. There is no restriction on using that. But in case if you do not want to, you can do it manually by this way too. And my friend, when it comes to the examination, this many number of periods will not be given to you. It would just be 1 or 2 or 3 periods, so that it can be solved in 30 seconds or 40 seconds to come. But when it comes to the learning, there shouldn't be any sacrifice. Examination is a different thing, learning is a different thing. You must be observing that when you will be learning, will go to the deepest of secrets of everything. But when it comes to examination, the approach would be slightly different. May I get this compounding factor, and that should be divided, would be there in the denomination here. Okay, final answer has been given to me. Mr. Mohit is giving me the compounding factor 3.9907. Good. Every one of us are getting it. 50 crores divided by 3.9907. So ultimately we are getting some amount close to 12 crores 52,91,302. Nice. So that is the amount Miss Deepu will have to invest now to get 50 crores of rupees after 10 years. Let's take the second question. So obviously Deepu has come, so we'll be taking her spouse as well now. Mr. Ranveer Singh will be paying 20 lakhs after 10 years for the loan he has taken. The interest is charged 8% per annum. What amount of loan he has taken now? So that's a different perspective to interpret this question. It's basically the PV question only. All of us will start doing it. So Mr. Ranveer Singh wants 20 lakhs rupees after 10 years. So future value is going to be 20 lakhs rupees to be divided by 1 plus r raised to n. Now here the compounding is taking place on per annum basis only. Nothing is given to you related to the compounding frequencies. Obviously, per annum would be taken. Now I would be giving you one shortcut here. 1 divided by 1.08, 1 plus r raised to n. N stands for 10. Now how can you do it in the calculator? Just listen to me carefully. Please take your calculator and do 1 divided by 1.08. Do 1 divided by 1.08. Do it in your calculator. 1 divided by 1.08. Do it for 9 more times, because you have done it for 1 time, right? Do it for 9 more times. How you will be doing it? You will be just pressing equal to 9 more times. So you take your calculator, again repeating that, 1 divided by 1.08. Press equal to, and keep pressing equal to for further 9 times. So whatever the discounting factor you have got, obviously would be there in some point, that would be multiplied with 20 lakhs. So that is my present value. So equal to 20 lakhs multiplied by 0. What do we get there? 0. Can anyone tell me the answer? 1 divided by 1.08 equal to, and 9 more times equal to. What is the discounting factor you are getting there? I guess you should be getting 1 divided by 1.08. Now some people will be like, sir, आप ये इसको मल्टीप्लाई कर रहे हो, उसको उसको ये 20 से डिवाइड करो, तो आपको क्या प्रॉब्लम है? आपको ये नया क्यों करना है? I am doing that because we want to explore another way as well, you know, and this way would be more beneficial in some upcoming sessions to come. That's why you should be habituated with both of these ways. Raised to 10. So we have got 0.4632. Are we getting the same answer? 0.4632. Good. And that should be multiplied with 20 lakhs. Now this 0.4632 can also be called as the discounting factor. Discounting factor. Discounting factor multiplied by the FV can be called as the PV. So we have got some answer of the PV as well. Okay, so may I have the confirmation that you are there with me till now? Very simple to understand. Present values of the single cash flows. All of us. Confirmation, please, all of you. Yes, Miss Priska is getting the answer. Miss Urja is as well. Mr. Mohit, Mr. Dhaval too. Confirmation received from Mr. Harsh. Good. Nandini.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Mr. Hardik.
Can you repeat once again? I did not understand.
Which one I should repeat better?
Last 10.
So this one, this bracket.
Yes, sir.
Right. So the formula, as we have seen, is FV divided by 1 plus R raised to n. That can also be written like FV multiplied by 1 divided by 1 plus R raised to n. So what I'm doing is I'm finding this discounting factor, my friend. So 1 divided by 1.08 raised to 10 is there, right? So what I'll do, at one time I'll press 1 divided by 1.08 in the calculator. And whatever the answer I have got, I'll keep on pressing equal to for 9 more times. So that would be my entire discounting factor. So discounting factor can be found by that way too. Or the previous way that we had adopted was you find this 1 plus R raised to n. And whatever the value you get, that you will be dividing, the 1 will be divided by that value.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Good. Let's move ahead. Now we have taken the present of Miss Deepika. The past should also be considered. Let's move to the question number 3. What amount Mr. Ranbir will have to invest if he wants 1 crore after 5 years at the expected rate of 9% compounded continuously? So we have seen the compounding frequency annual and monthly till now. We are taking the continuous compounding. So when we were doing the continuous compounding, my friend, the formula that we used to follow was looking like this. FV equal to PV multiplied by E raised to RT, right? So similarly, FV divided by E raised to RT would be PV. Now E ka value we have already got by applying some mathematics, and accordingly we will be finding the answer. Let's move ahead. Now future value is Mr. Ranbir wants some amount in future, 1 crore after 5 years, and he is expecting 9% compounded continuously. So the number of periods in 5 years for which the compounding will take place are infinite, sir. Continuous, infinite. There is no calculation in that. It is ever increasing. So that's why we are using the exponential factor. So 1 crore to be divided by e raised to rt. E ka value 2.718 raised to r. R is the rate of return expected by Mr. Ranbir, 9%. So, sir, I'm writing 0.09 multiplied by T. T stands for the time. Time is, in this case, yearly. He wants after 5 years. Okay, let's move ahead. Now we are mathematically stuck a bit. 1 crore to be divided by 2.718. 9 5s are 45, so I get 0.45 there. Sir, now how do we solve this? जब हमें प्रॉब्लम होती है तो मम्मी के पास जाते हैं, मम्मी ये हो गया, मम्मी वो हो गया। वैसे ही अगर मैथमेटिक्स स्टक होता है तो वो भी उसके मम्मी के पास जाता है। एंड द मम्मी ऑफ मैथमेटिक्स इज logarithm. Let x equal to 2.718.5, and that is justifiable as well when it comes to Ranveer, you know, the value of x equal to, now here I would be taking log on both the sides. So if I take log on both the sides, so log x equal to, the second property we had seen that anything is there in a power will come into a multiplication if we take the log of that value. So 0.45 multiplied by log of 2.718. Now you should be remembering this in your back of your mind. You know that 2.718, whenever there would be a continuous compounding, it's 0.4343, but still we will be going through that log table and we'll get it, you know, 0.45 and find the log of this 2.718. So I'm just taking you to the log table, everyone. You may also open your log table there. Good. So, sir, when we were finding the log table, no, at that point of time, we were taking the first 2 digits. So we were taking 27, and in the 27 row, we would be finding the table value of 1, and 8's min difference was added back. Now, sir, 27 may 1. So I'm going to the 27. Here I am. And the value of 1 would be this one, so 4330, because it starts with 0 ka table, so 1 2 3 4 obviously. And sir, min difference of 8, and the min difference table starts from here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8, so it is 13. Now main difference is added into this value, which is 4330. So add the min difference of 13 into 4330, so you get 4343. So before point, you have 1 digit, my friend. So your answer should start with 0 digit. Your answer should start with 0. Before point, you have 1 digit, 1 minus 1. So your answer should start with 0. When it comes to logarithm, you reduce 1. Now you multiply this 2, we get some answer. What do we get? May I have the answer, please? 0.45 multiplied by 0.4343. It's 0.1954. Good. And sir, that's gonna be my log x. x के साथ में भी log जुड़ा हुआ है, भूलना की जाना में कौन, otherwise it will go into the FOMO zone, we know. चाचा जी को भूलना नहीं है। चाचा जी अगर परेशान नाराज हो जाएंगे तो पूरे फंक्शन की वाट लगा देंगे। So from left hand side, if we take it to right hand side, so x equal to log will become the anti-log. of 0.1954 equal to, sir, till now we were there into the log, now we'll go into the anti-log. Let's go into the anti-log now. An anti-log should always be checked after the decimal. Whatever the value you have got before the decimal should be straight away ignored in this case. Should be straight away ignored in this case. Okay, so we'll finding the anti-log of 19 in the table of 5 and 4's mean difference would be added. So sir, go to point 19 in the anti-log, 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 anti-log. Here we have got 0.19. Then sir, value of the 5. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have got 5, 1, 5, 6, 7. And the mean difference of 4 should be added. My laptop is right now high on the ganja. I don't know why. बहुत ज़्यादा hang हो रहा है. Good. So mean difference of 4 is, sir, it's just a 1. So you add 1 into this 1, 5, 6, 7. Mean difference will anyway be added. So it becomes 1, 5, 6, 8. Now, when we were finding the logarithm at that time, we had reduced 1 from whatever the digits we had, you know. So if we had 1 digit before point, we were reducing 1. Now, before point, what is the number you have? 0. In 0 now, you will add 1. In logarithm, we used to reduce 1. Now we are adding 1. So, sir, if we are adding 1, then my answer should start with 1 digit. So 1 digit is over here. So 1.568. So my decimal should be there after the 1 digit. Because before point there is 0. If I add 1 into it, it becomes 1. So my answer should start with the first digit of whatever the answer I have got. Or I may say that my decimal should be put after the first digit. Is it clear? 1.568. That's going to be my value of x. Let me replace the value of x over there in the main thing we have got, equal to 10 lakhs. Some people will be like, Deepika 10 करोड़ कर रही है, या रणबीर कपूर 1 करोड़ कर रहा है, और रणबीर सिंह नहीं, रणबीर सिंह बेचारा 1 करोड़ कर रहा है और रणबीर कपूर को सिर्फ 10 लाख रुपए. आपने क्या इज्जत रखी उसकी? Anyway, whatever the case it would be, 1.568. So you'll get some answer. So that's gonna be the value money which Mr. Ranveer Kapoor will have to invest if he is expecting the continuous compounding return at what percentage of expectations? At 9% of expectations on a yearly basis. So that's entirely all about the single cash flow PV. So next lecture is going to be the annuities of the PV, and before that I would circulate those questions as well, which are already required, that will be related to the differential cash flow. Hello? Yes, sir. Sir, that has been prepared, but that is pending to be uploaded. Yes, sir, I'm uploading it right now only. I was there in the session, so couldn't. Yes, sir. Okay, am I audible, guys? Here,
Yes, sir.
confirmation, please. Thank you so much. I received one call, and that was important to be received. I'm really sorry. So this is all about the PV of the single cash flow. The PV of the annuities would be discussed later on, my friend. So I would be signing off this lecture pretty early today. If you have any queries or questions related to the PV of the single cash flow, you may just raise your point or concern here. I hope the instructions I have given you related to the mid-semester examination are absolutely clear. The material related to the present value and the future value will be uploaded very shortly in your Google Classroom. Just after this session, I'm going to upload this. May I have the final confirmation from the students? Good. Please put your enrollment number as a mark of your attendance. That's it from my side for the day. Bye-bye. Take care. Sayonara.